Hi everyone, Alexandra here. So today we are looking a bit into the issue of duplicate content and kind of what can happen when you decide to republish your content elsewhere. So a common practice is to have maybe a blog post on your own website, so on your blog, and then take it and republish it somewhere else, maybe on Medium or just on a different website. That can be a news outlet, media outlet, or even just the blog of another company. Usually, the goal is to kind of get your content in front of more people. However, Google has recently confirmed, and I will link this to you in the description down below, that indeed republishing content can be seen as a negative thing and can lead to duplicate content. So basically, the general recommendation from Google themselves is to stick with just having your article on your own website if you want to rank. So basically, these are kind of the two directions you can opt for. Keep your blog post on your own website without republishing it anywhere else and just kind of try to grow it there. You can go ahead and start building backlinks, or instead of publishing new content, you can go over your previous articles and update them and then start building links for them and just getting them higher in the rankings. However, if you do believe that maybe getting more eyeballs over your content is what matters the most, so you want to get in front of as many people as possible, then you can opt for republishing your content in other places. However, I'm going to kind of take you through some of the best practices for doing this. Generally, I have stopped for both myself and my clients republishing content elsewhere, so we just stick to having an article on our blog and growing it there. However, if you do believe and you've seen recently results with republishing your content, there's just a couple of best practices to stick with. So first of all, there's the ever so common tendency to repost our blog posts on Medium, because on Medium, if you use the right tags, it can be easier to get in front of people who are interested in this topic. So here I have an example of an article which I republished on Medium, and I have this originally on my blog. We can just go to these settings in here and click on Edit Story. And then at the top here, you're going to More Settings, and you're going to scroll down a bit. Click on Advanced Settings, and this is at the very bottom. And this is where you have the option to mention if the story was originally published somewhere else and add in the link of the original article. So when this is done, you should now have the Medium post linking back to your original post. However, this does not guarantee that Google will choose to feature your website. So I've had situations with some past articles where Google decided to feature the Medium post, even when I chose to only publish part of the original article on Medium. So I had essentially a shorter article on Medium, but it was still ranking instead of my page. So it kind of gets tricky, and you need to keep track and monitor these rankings essentially. And this applies to wherever you want to republish your content. So for example, there's certain news outlets, media websites that will precisely tell you that you can't republish their content. So if you have a guest post there, you are not allowed to publish it somewhere else. Others will allow you to republish that piece of content, however, only after 1 month or after a year even. So do pay attention to this when you decide to start writing on a different website. And even if you find a website that accepts republishing maybe a content that you already have on your blog, make sure they do add that canonical link to their post. And I'm going to show you kind of what good practices for canonical links look like. So here I have an example with this author here, and he has a blog post on dev.to, which is a popular website where developers in general go and write content. Now, most of them actually have a separate blog. So if we are going to click right, go to view page source, and search for canonical, you will notice that this canonical link here is not the one from dev.to. Instead, it's the one of his website. And then here at the top, you will also see a mention that this article was originally published elsewhere. Now to get this, whenever you go to create a post, let's just name it test, you're going to have here at the bottom some settings where you can set the canonical URL and get the same results. Now on the reverse side, I want to show you kind of what bad canonical linking practices look like. So we have this post on the Buffer blog and it's from the CEO. And there's a mention in here that the article was originally published somewhere else. However, when you click right and you go to view the page source and you search for the canonical link, this link in here is still the one from Buffer. So technically, you're telling Google that this is the original post, but you're telling readers that you have it published somewhere else. And then you have the original blog post on his website. And if you go to view page source, in this case, the canonical link leads to his own website. So you've got essentially the same content with two different canonical links. So this is kind of confusing to Google, and it's the reason why the post kind of doesn't rank that well as well. Now, before I log off, I want to show you another example of a bad practice for canonical links. So that is, in this case, having both a absolute and a relative canonical link, or URL, if you will. So this is just super confusing because it's difficult for the bots to exactly tell which post is the original. And now here I have a good example of a canonical link, and it's just one single link with a absolute URL telling both bots and readers, if you want to, which post is the original one. Now, I will soon have a newsletter edition coming up on this topic, so you can sign up for the newsletter in the description down below. If you have any other questions or if you have seen some strange situations related to duplicate content, republishing content, and canonical links, do let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time. Enjoy the day.